Good evening, everybody, and welcome to episode 5 of Rebels Without a Castle presents The Stone Lord's Folly. My name is Zach Savage, and I will be your lore master this evening. We missed you. It's been a while since we've had everybody here at the table. We've missed you all, for whichever ones you happen to not be here for. And I'm so thrilled to have you back, and so thrilled to have our lovely audience back. Like I said, I am Zach Savage. I will be running this John, and I'm joined by my absolutely fantastic, wonderful, drop dead gorgeous cast of characters, and they're going to go through and tell you who they are. Hyacinth.
Hi, I'm Hyacinth. My handle is at Hyacinth Wonders on pretty much every social media, and tonight I'm playing Seraphina Von Willow, the High Elf Cleric.
Perfect. Justin.
Hey everybody, how's it going? I am GM Justin. I'm not going to go into my full spiel, but I'm playing Dante tonight. Excited to be back, Al.
Oh boy, I can't wait for some Dante himbo-ness. Laura.
Hi, hello, good evening, folks. You can call me Laura or Tutu or Laura22. You can find me all over the internet as _Laura22 and all the social media sites that matter. Tonight, I am playing your half-orc barbarian fighter, Orient Shieldbreaker.
Yes. Sam.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Sam. I am playing the human gunslinger fighter, Redless Nose tonight, your resident pirate and expert on all things boats.
And oh boy, are we glad that we're in the middle of the woods where all the boats are. And last but not least, we have our wonderful purveyor of all the art that you have seen, are seeing right now, and will see in the future, Pyrea.
Hi, everybody. I'm Pyrea. You can find me on all socials as Pyrea. That's the end spiel. I'm playing Espen, the Oblivion Ranger / Druid. Take it away, Zach.
All right, gang, like I said, it has been a minute since we have visited this timeline, this part of history as it develops. How's everybody feeling?
Let's cause some chaos.
Peachy keen,
Let's
Zach.
go.
Throw it at us.
Let's go.
Where's my coffee?
All right,
As I'm
all right.
chugging a monster.
So, since it's been a while, I'm going to give us this nice little recap so we know exactly what is going on. So, when last we left our crew, they had successfully made their way out of Corin and decided to cut through Grimford, a village with a questionable history. While traversing the woods, Dante heard some music in the forest and went to investigate. Another fellow was also wandering the woods to investigate and followed said music into the hole of a large tree. After some tests, the party decided to not follow. As they made their way down the road, posters started showing up, sparingly at first, then papering the trees the closer they got to Grimford, saying, "Come celebrate Rufus," with a picture of the fellow who walked into the tree. And that is where we are now. So, as you all are approaching Grimford, I believe I said that you could see these like pennant banners kind of like in between these makeshift lantern posts that have also just been papered with the same poster saying, "Come celebrate Rufus," with the image of that man, according to Dante. As you are walking up, if you looked at a map, you'd be where you said you were going to be. But for all that you've heard or not heard, this is not what Grimford is. Instead of being this conglomerate of like ramshackle houses and buildings with no care being taken to them, and then mostly appearing abandoned. This settlement looks to be bright and cheery and warm and well loved and thrumming with this celebratory energy as music kind of loots through the air, and you can hear the kind of low grumble of a crowd kind of like towards the middle, interjected with bursts of applause and cheering. What would you like to do?
Do we? Okay, so it's all been really weird and nothing's really making sense. Before we are entering the actual like threshold of the city, I guess, does it seem as a ranger, does the nature seem weird? Am I getting bad vibes from the dirt? Like Eswin's gonna lean down and like touch the dirt.
Yeah, vibe check the dirt. Give me a nature check.
Dirt. Amazing. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay, beautiful. So the road that you're on feels normal. So you kind of like bend down and you get some of the dirt between your fingers and you're really kind of grinding it in and looking. You've been around. You understand how environments work. This is it's dirt. But as you are kind of like hunkered down and kind of looking more towards, because as I understand, you guys are still like outside of the town proper. You feel like the road doesn't feel very like the dirt is very, very like pale. It's not turned over, it's not heavily compacted. This is not a road well traveled.
This is all the excitement and festivities that are in front of us. They don't quite align with the dirt.
In what way?
If you look, I mean, you can see our footprints behind us, and it does not look like there's any wagon trail or anything that has been recent. You would see it. It does not look well traveled, but then, and she gestures towards like the commotion of whatever appealing area it looks like now. I feel like it's trapped.
Are there footprints for the guy that we were following, kind of?
Give me a investigation check since you're looking for that specifically.
That was super low.
Okay.
I didn't actually care anyway. 8.
Jesus.
I didn't even want to know.
Since I've done like the vibe check and I'm kind of making these connections, is there any way I can help Seraphina? Okay.
You can help. Seraphina, roll again.
Okay.
Yay!
I was like, oh, she talked about the footprints behind us, so there should be. That was a nat 1.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
The first one was a 3.
We're doing great.
And
We're
I just
doing great.
happened to have a +5, but no, this is good.
Seraphina,
boy.
you develop an aggressive astigmatism as you look down to the dirt. It's all very blurry. It's weird. You're both near and farsighted.
Wow,
So there's
that's
really
crazy.
nothing to do for you with this dirt. But as you pick your head up, everything clears back away.
Okay.
It was brief. It was temporary.
Yeah, I have a dirt
Guys.
specific astigmatism.
You hear in the back of your mind the sound of like a pen clicking and some notes being written.
Okay, but guys, hear me out. Okay, If not Fun Festival, why does Fun Festival vibes come from?
Because it's a trap.
Or
Bingo.
it's a fun festival.
Or they're waiting to strip all of the meat from our bones.
Or festive cakes and joyous times. I don't know.
God's
Okay.
almighty. You know what? Do you want to go check it out?
I do. Who's this Rufus guy? I keep seeing.
That's a great question. I think you
keep
should
seeing-
find out. Should I be egging him on? I really don't think I should, but it just feels so right.
I mean, and I'll lean over to Revlis. At some point he's gonna have to learn.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. What better time?
Yeah. If anything goes wrong, we'll be able to swoop in and fix it. But
Right. Worst case scenario,
Probably.
it's actually a party. He's going to have a wonderful time.
Well, hey, why don't Dante, before
Yes.
you go any further, why don't you have a cup of coffee first, and I can send my little wild companion, and they can kind of scope it out and let us know what is going on. How about that first? Because we might not be invited to this party. We don't want to be rude and then get kicked out and then never be able to come back to the party.
That's a fantastic. I didn't even think about that. I am feeling a little low in energy, so I could use a little pick me up.
Aspen pulls out a thermos, ye olden thermos, with runes and stuff all carved in it to keep it nice and warm. And she pulls it out, and it's Dante sized, not her sized. And she'll pull it out and hand it to Dante. Have at least one full cup, okay?
Okay, I can do that.
And we'll wait. We'll wait.
Okay.
Okay. And in that moment, Espen is you're gonna see a little glitter form around her paw as she casts Wild Companion. So what that is I summon a spirit that assumes an animal form. I can action. When you cast this spell, the familiar is a fae instead of a beast, and the familiar disappears after a number of hours equal to half your druid level. So you're gonna see this glitter start to form, and you'll see a little kind of squirrel show up. But instead of it being a little brown or earth tone squirrel, it's gonna be this pale pink squirrel. And its little tail has a little dip dye, you know how when you take your white dogs into the groomer and they paint the end of their tails and their ears and stuff? It's a lot like that. And it's kind of almost iridescent, but you can still you can see it visibly, but it's got a glittery kind of look to it as it forms in her hand. And you hear her speak Oblivarin, which you guys wouldn't know, but it's a series of low growls and grumbles. I'm not going to make that noise because I don't think I can very well. As this squirrel sits on her hand, and she goes, "Can you please go explore all the party over there and come back and let us know what is going on?" And you guys will see the little squirrel shatter in kind of a weird high-pitched noise that squirrels that you've never heard a squirrel make the noise that it makes, almost like glass shattering as it chirps back at her.
That's unsettling.
Skitters off. Yeah. It's giving my little a smash off.
Yeah, sure. So this squirrel from hell squirrel's banters off.
Squirrel from hell?
Yeah, you can't say its voice is glass breaking. That's just horrifying.
Okay, you make a squirrel sound.
No.
Make a squirrel chitter.
I can't make a glass shattering sound either. I mean,
No,
I could. I
like a
can once.
normal squirrel chitter. It's high pitched on its own. To make it more high pitched, it would have to be really, really high. Anyway,
It could have been jingle bells.
case in point.
So the squirrel
Like,
goes.
Leave my squirrel alone.
So the squirrel goes. So what's the deal with wild companion? Is this like a see through your squirrel's eyes type thing, or it goes and reports back?
What a great question. Um, it doesn't say.
All
It
right.
just
Well,
says that
it would.
it
I think it would
assumes
explicitly say that you can see through its
I
eyes.
can see
So,
through its eyes. Yeah.
um,
But isn't a wild companion like when you have a companion,
it's not like a
can't you see
familiar.
through its eyes?
No, it's not like a
You're right. You're
familiar.
right. Yeah, yeah. So it has to explore and then come back.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. So the squirrel goes away. About the amount of time that it takes Dante to drink a cup of coffee. So I don't know, 7 seconds, however long that number happens to be. And you see it starts bloop, 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 and like bounds back and then climbs up your leg and like across your shoulder and then into your hand. Can you understand the squirrel? Is that a part of this?
It doesn't say. I can send you the exact verbiage, but I said other than like an action, it does not tell me that. It just says you gain the ability to summon a spirit that assumes an animal form. As an action, you can expend a use of you can expend the use of your wild shape feature to cast the find familiar spell.
Okay, so we're gonna say through.
It's a familiar, but it's. I'll send you all the details on it. But it's summoning a wild companion as an action, but it's a familiar. It disappears after the number of hours equal to half my druid level.
All right, so here's what we're going to say for the sake of time and argument. Through a series
Yeah.
of charades a la Courage the Cowardly Dog, the squirrel communicates that there are a lot of people, and they all seem to be crowded around this stage where they are kind of like partying and drinking, and this Rufus fellow is like in the middle of it, and he's just like partying, drinking, having a good time.
Okay. I'll relay that to the rest of the party. So I guess it seems normal.
Normal.
That's what my friend says.
Is
And
that
it perches on her shoulder for another 2.5 hours.
is that normal for a squirrel or normal for humans? You know what? Either way, I'm getting too far into this. And frankly, I'm tired. Shall we go all check this out for Dante's sake?
Yes.
Sure.
Right. Dante, lead
Yes.
the way if you would.
Dante just gets up from sitting crisscross applesauce and hands Espen the cup to yield the thermos, and then quickly speed walks right into the town.
Revelus will lean over towards Ori and say, 5 gold says he goes down first.
Yeah, you know what? I'll make that bet.
Right.
Perfect. So as you all enter the town, you hear this like the music you've been hearing on the outside, but now it feels like the music is all around you. I know it is the acoustics of the instruments bouncing off the building, but the vibes are good. You can see as you're entering the town, the streets remain mostly empty as you pass by buildings with lights in their windows, the soft glow of a warm hearth, and the signs of tradesmen as you pass through what seems to be kind of like a mercantile area. Until you find this area that the squirrel was telling you about. You see that there is a large group of people, probably like 100 to 200 people, all centered around this wooden stage that has been constructed in what seems to be serving as the town square. And you see up there a familiar face, familiar to most of you from the poster, but Dante, familiar to you as the fella that you were investigating the music with that went into the tree. And he is having a grand old time. You see that Rufus is sat at this large banquet table with a whole bunch of other folks and just chowing down and drinking. And every time that he picks up his drink and yells, everybody yells back, Rufus! And then they all drink. And that's what's going on. What do you do?
Do you guys think it's like his birthday or something? Like, why is he being celebrated? Do we know?
What did the poster say?
It
Come
just
celebrate
says,
Rufus.
come celebrate Rufus.
Oh, bet. Okay.
Dante, when you
Oh.
talked to him, did he say like what the party was for?
No. It was more like I heard some and above table DM correct me if I'm wrong for my recollection of said memory that I'm about to get back. So back into it. He said something along the lines like I heard music out here, trying to figure where that came out. And I turned around and then he was gone. So it was at that weird tree that we were just at actually.
So,
Yeah, mostly on you did see him go into the tree.
So maybe it's like a surprise party?
Seems like it. Are those funnel cakes? You're gonna see it's like Dante just goes straight to like a stand and grab and as I canonize funnel cakes in this world and just start.
Oh God, my lord!
Can I get one of those, please? Thank you, and just start chowing down on one of them.
Never mind.
Yeah, you might be losing that bet, Ori.
Yep. So as you see, so just names. Dante, you go up to the stand that has all these funnel cakes that are like, I mean, they're gorgeous. Like it's the most perfectly poured funnel cake you've ever seen in your life. And you just, as you come up, the person behind there you see is just like a slender, like elven man, just hands you one.
Thank you. Turn around. Go back to the group. Guys, it's just so good. Oh, I think it's like powdered sugar or something.
No, that's great. Wonderful. Oh.
Dante, roll me a. I'm just kidding. Yeah. So you see that everybody is, rip roaring around like it is. It just seems like this big, not to be topical, but it's got kind of like a St. Patrick's Day like parade vibe. Like it's just a large mass of people that have congregated and they're just like sitting, like they're just in the street and drinking. It's Broad Street after Philly won the Super Bowl.
People are climbing poles, like.
Oh God, has
Well,
anyone set a carriage on fire yet?
No, you see, there's delightfully no arson. You do see that there's this one little elven kid, and he's got like what do you call the tiny like gardening shovels?
The spade?
Trowel.
Is it?
Or trowel.
I thought there was a trowel. I think trowel is
That's
what I was
what
looking
Sam
for.
said.
Yeah.
No.
His spade works too.
And you see he's like digging around one of like the lantern posts, and you see he's like trying to like uproot it. But his mom comes over and kind of like kicks him in the butt a little bit.
Actual footage of me as a child.
But yeah,
Hey
so
guys,
you
it's
see
not that bad.
That's how it always starts.
so
Chow's
as you guys are all sitting there, all of a sudden you see this like parade of people coming like from the right, like in between these two buildings, and you see that they are parading like another massive spread and are heading for the stage. You see like a full like roast pig, apple in the mouth, honey glazed, like a whole like roasted mutton, this huge thing of like spiraled potatoes that have been covered in cheese, and kind of formed this kind of like volcano-esque type thing, and all sorts of incredibly delicious looking food. And as like the parade was in, like they're like bouncing around and happy, and the rest of the crowd just like starts going nuts as they come up and they are like laying the food on the table in front of the stage. All of the food that was on that table is gone. But they lay all that food out, and they clap Rufus on the back, and Rufus starts tearing into the roast pig. And as he grabs like a leg of mutton, you see he like points out to the crowd, and they all raise their drinks and cheer Rufus again. And you see he's like taking pieces of the roast pig and like carving them up and like throws them out into the crowd, and like people are grabbing it.
That's a little unsanitary.
They're
Oh.
eating a lot.
I had a thought. It's not a thought that I enjoy. Lore Master, I would like to grab like one of the pieces of pig that gets hucked out into the crowd, just like hand up, grab.
Sure.
It's actually pork, right?
Give me. Ooh, what do I ask for that? What do I ask for this?
Listen.
Nature. I know
It
what you're
does
asking.
taste the same. Roughly.
If you close your eyes.
How
Questions?
do you know?
Research.
are questions.
You didn't have to read that. You didn't have to read that short story in school.
Could I potentially beg the Lore Master for survival?
Yeah. You sure could.
That's a 19.
Cool. How do you want to determine this?
I'm not putting it in my mouth. If that's what you're asking.
Flip it right now.
Taste test is the only way, man. I don't know what to tell you.
So as you snag one of these pieces of roast pork, you turn it over in your hands, and
I'll sniff it.
you sniff it. You smell pineapple? Nice. Just a hint, just enough to add a little bit of sweetness to this delicious pig
Why do you emphasize it like that?
that was cooked. I'm putting Laura's fears to rest so that it's not long pig.
I wasn't afraid it was long pig. I was afraid it was some, like, I don't know, fey bullshit. You take a bite and it rots in your mouth.
Oh.
You look
I
at
was
it too
worried it was
hard,
long pig.
and the illusion implodes or whatever.
Oh, no, nothing like that.
What do you mean?
So yeah, so you
What do you
determine
mean?
you determine that it is in fact pig.
Cool.
Okay, the food is real.
See, I don't know why you guys are so hesitant about this. It's a party. We should be celebrating. I don't know who this dude is, but it should be celebrated. All right, I'm gonna take the excuse too.
At that prompting from Dante, Revel's is gonna turn to like whoever's nearest to them. Is there like a group of people that's somewhat close by that's having a good time?
You see that nobody seems to be like not a part of the party. Like no one's like split off their own little cell. They're all pretty like into this that's happening here in front of them. But like nobody is like, they're not like it's not like the first four rows of a concert. Like they're not up against the rail.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Can I go up to one of the individuals at the very back of the group that's trying to get in on this pig action? Just tap them on the shoulder and say, excuse me, remind me again, why are we celebrating Rufus?
Because it is, you see like it turns around like very sharply and like looks back at you. And goes, this is Rufus. We celebrate Rufus. And like turns back around, giving you absolutely no mind other than that.
Yes, but why? I'm gonna put my hand back on his shoulder just to try and help him recognize that I am there.
This is Rufus. We celebrate Rufus. And sharply turns back around. And you see the like the demeanor shift from like you interrupting his revelry is so stark.
Point taken. Okay, I'll remove my hand from his shoulder and just slowly back up till I meet with the others. They have no reason for celebrating him other than it's Rufus and we celebrate Rufus. He's not a leader, a king, a god, not that we're aware of. What do we do here? Is this really just a party in the middle of the woods?
I mean,
No.
I don't know about the rest of you all, but we are on a bit of a time crunch.
Yeah.
I mean, we could just grab a plate to eat and then grab a plate to go, and then we just take on off. We at least got to celebrate and we grab some food along the way. It's one less match we got to burn.
You know what? Feel free, my guy.
Let's grab.
Or he's not touching any of this foot with a 10-foot pole. Mm-mm. I still don't trust it.
Dante, how are you feeling in this moment? Like, because you're the only one who has eaten any of this party food.
He'll plop the last bit of the funnel cake in. He's like, I feel fine.
Do you?
Why are you guys so worried about this?
Mm-hmm.
It seems like everyone's pretty happy.
But this town, the nature of it all, it does not make any sense.
I mean,
They did not.
It's in nature.
I mean, we've grown up hearing stories about how terrible and terrifying Grimford is, and to get here and see a revelry in front of us puts our guard up a little bit, Serafina.
Also, let's not forget, it's a revelry in the middle of the town where the surrounding forest is overbearing and terrifying, and there's no sign of anyone else traveling here.
All of these people had to have been brought here by something.
Or
Not the road.
Or they just grew up here, right? Like, then they didn't even have to come here.
That is a curious notion, yes.
I mean, if I'm being perfectly honest with you guys, you all mentioning that this is actually a bad place is the first time I'm hearing about this.
You haven't been paying attention to a word we've said. Have you, Dante?
I mean, I've read about it in books, but it can change over time. I don't have a book written super recently, so who's to say people didn't just move here?
Well, no, it's more that you guys said that you all grew up hearing terrible stories about this place. Yeah, I've never heard those stories before. So, I mean, if you guys don't mind, I'd love to hear about them, but I've never personally heard them before.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it,
I mean,
is
it's
it
supposed to be-
Is it because you didn't grow up, or you just didn't grow up hearing them?
I don't remember hearing any stories or
But you
being
did-
told any stories.
But you did grow up. It's just the hearing that you didn't do.
Well, I mean, I had to grow up. How else do you think I got to this? How else do you think I got to? And you're just going to strike a pose to this?
I love Dante so much.
Nothing's supposed to be here. I mean, there was something here, but now there's not. And I've passed around here before, but it was kind of spooky and there was nothing here. So we just kind of went along the way. You know.
Doesn't seem so spooky now.
Hey, DM,
But that
Yeah.
can I make a perception check in this crowd to see if there are any dwarves amongst the revelers?
You sure can.
Ooh. What
Okay, not
What
too
was
bad.
Rufus?
We've
What did
got a
Rufus look like again?
17 plus 3, dirty 20.
Dirty 20. As you... I heard you, Perry. I'll answer you.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. You kind of scan the crowd, and it is a dense crowd. But it seems that everybody here is as tall as you or taller. And is very normal height. Oh, bye, Sam. Sam did not like that answer. All right, noted.
Oh no!
Sam said,
No
nope, I'm
worries.
out.
Yeah, Sam was like, no dwarves?
We're all mixed up
I'm
now
out.
on the overlay, but I'm just gonna leave it until Sam gets back. 'Cause
Yeah.
that was-
Well, let's I'll answer Pyrea's question. So Rufus looks like pale skin, like blonde hair, but like balding, like that, like down the middle type.
Okay.
Little bit of a beer gut, skinny arms. Nothing, just a guy. Hi Sam, welcome back.
Sorry about that. Internet issues, as always.
Yeah, no worries. No dwarves was the gist of what you missed.
No
Okay.
dwarves. Okay. What race is Rufus?
He appears to be a human.
Okay, human. Appears to be. Just like that answer.
Wait, we
well-
just give you information.
While everyone else is analyzing that, Seraphina, completely misunderstanding Dante's instruction of get a plate and get a plate to go, has grabbed 2 empty plates and put them into her bag. No food on them. She just got a plate and a plate to go. 2 plates.
Oh God.
Perfect.
They're silvered.
We've got how many people in this party take everything literally?
At least 2. Oh, at least 3.
At least 2. Potentially 3.
Potentially 3, depending on what it is.
Okay. You know what, Lore Master, I would actually like to start walking in the direction of where the food, the second round of food came from, just to do a little snoop.
Sure. Yeah.
And
So
I'll just, hey, Revlis.
Right. I'll follow Ori.
My little squirrel friend is gonna get off of my shoulder and go towards the table where Rufus is and kind of explore that area and try and interact with Rufus and see how he reacts to that.
Sure. And now that we know what this thing does, we can do this effectively.
It's basically Find Familiar, which
Yeah,
they
it's Find
should have
Familiar
just
for druids.
written it.
Yeah, I don't know why they bothered.
Yeah, they should have just written it that way. I was like, I don't know if it's Find Familiar, but then it's like, yeah.
Yeah, you cast Find Familiar. The end. Okay.
But I use a wild shape instead of.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So do this in 2 parts. I'm actually going to do the squirrel first. So Square the squirrel hops down off the shoulder. I guess what we're going to name it. Jumps down off of Espen's shoulder and kind of darts in between people with a newfound intelligence. And kind of like scampers up these little stairs and underneath the table where Rufus and kind of the party committee, as it like seems to be, are all kind of sitting, and there are to eat in a way that this fella's eating. You would imagine that not all of it would make it to his mouth.
You?
But according to the squirrel, it's fairly tidy underneath the table.
Where is it going?
So, Revlis and Ori, as you both kind of like skirt around the edge of this crowd, can I have a perception check from both of you, please? Or one of you can roll an advantage and we'll just use...
I'll have Ori's back, so Ori, you go with advantage.
Okay. $23.
Beautiful. Okay, so 2 things. As you're skirting around, you see the table that like Seraphina had just come back from, where she took her to-go plates. And you notice that there's still a lot of plates there. For a crowd this size to be on its second round of roast pig. But maybe they wash dishes fast. And as you skirt around to kind of take a peek from where these folk came from with all the food, you clock something interesting. Now, when they came out, they seemed to have come kind of just at a straight line, almost military straight. But there's no door over here that would lend them to making that good of an entrance. In fact, there's no building in between these 2 buildings at all, so they would have had to come from either the building on the right or the building on the left. But again, there was a long line and a very straight one. And as you come around the corner, you see that this just leads to another path out of town.
Like back out into the woods?
Actually, more kind of. We have to take the map with a grain of salt here. So this would actually um take you into like more of a sparsely treed area, like less dense woods, more field with a few trees.
Hey, Revelus,
Yes.
cover me.
Right.
Where's the nearest tree?
So it would be just so you have a building on the left and the building on the right, and they're about 20 feet long, so it makes like this kind of like pseudo hallway thing to get out. The next tree would be about 30 feet beyond that.
Okay. I'm gonna go walk towards the nearest tree.
Okay.
I'll stand about 10 feet back, hand on one of my pistols, just watching both Ori and either side of her to see if anything happens.
So as you take steps to leave essentially the borders of town towards this first tree, as you get to the very last step before you kind of break that imaginary threshold that is the border of town, you just hear this very low voice say, "You wouldn't leave without your friends, would you?" From behind you to the left. And I mean, it is right as you are taking this last step.
I'm gonna spin and face the voice.
So as you spin around, you see this rather tall, slender, elven man with long blonde hair and this green tunic that is made kind of like a shimmery material. I don't know what things are called, but is filigreed with these gorgeous leaf and bramble iconography across the chest and down the sleeves. And he's just kind of leaning up against the building to your left and looking at you. Revelus, you don't know how you could be keeping both eyes on Ori and not see this gentleman appear. But he was not there, and then he was.
As this happens, I'll wait for Ori's say, but I will ready an action to attack if need be.
Is there a reason I wouldn't be able to leave with my party?
Oh, no. In fact, I encourage it before, well, she gets here.
Spit it out. Who?
So you see he kind of like rocks himself up off of the building and kind of comes over next to you and levels his eyes to Revlis. And Revlis, you say you have a hand on your pistol, right?
Yes.
And you see
Not drawn, but...
Mm-hmm. But you see he looks at you and just does kind of a sharp like head shake.
I will release my fingers, put them up, and then put them in my pocket.
Well, this is awkward. And you see he kind of paces forward and looks over at kind of like up towards the stage where Rufus is like eating. And everyone is still cheering and reveling. And kind of circles back and stands next to you, Ori, and places a hand on your shoulder.
He can certainly try. He ain't touching me.
My hand's going right back towards that pistol.
And he goes,
You touch me with that hand, you're gonna fucking lose it, my guy.
I swear on my honor, no harm will come to thee. I would simply like you to know what you and your friends are getting into.
I'll look at Reblis. If he mind whammies me, shoot me in the head.
You got it.
Both of my hands have been hovering over the hatchets that I have at either hip, but I will put them up and drop them to my sides.
And you see he places a hand on your shoulder so briefly. Give me a perception check. I'll say with advantage.
$17.
17. So ever so briefly, Ori, your vision kind of shakes a little bit. And for just a second, your friends are still there in the places that you left them. The people are still there in all the places that you left them, but they do not appear how they did. The town around you also kind of fades away into this derelict, ruinous, well, honestly, exactly how you expected to find it. And the people that crowd around the stage are a mix of these ashen skin, white-haired, red-eyed, sharp-eared, and then these slightly green-tinted folk with long blonde hair, with ears just as sharp and pointed noses. And what you once took as revelry and merriment is very clearly hunger and bloodlust. And then the hand comes away.
What about Rufus?
Yeah, what does Rufus look like?
Rufus looks the same. Whether that's to Rufus's benefit or not is entirely up to you. But Rufus does look the same.
What the hell is this place?
This is not something you and your kind are supposed to see. But alas, here you are, and alas, here we are. And Unfortunately, you are seeing it. I believe on this plane you call it the Feast of Amity. Everyone who grew up on this plane, give me a history check.
Nope.
Two.
6.
I got
Uh,
11.
13.
All right, guys. I guess your parents didn't love you very much and read you any bedtime stories.
Hello.
You know my
Listen, I got
backstory.
very particular. I got very particular bedtime stories.
Yeah. So, who was the highest?
I got a 13.
It was you. Yeah, it was with a 13.
I grew up on a mountain.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, but no, it's fitting. I guess it's fitting that you know this. So there was this story that your father used to tell you when you were being particularly difficult as a child, at bedtime, and it told of the Lady of Bones and the Bramble King of the Fey Realm, and how their kind were at war with each other for thousands of years until they reached this agreement, this pact, that they in their courts would share a meal together every, arbitrarily 300 years or so. And as he says this, you see that he's no longer next to you, Ori. He's now over by Espen and Dante and Serafina.
Poof.
Not even a poof. He goes, "My friends, I hate to be a rude host, but I believe it is time for you to go."
Why? Also, who are you?
And go ahead.
Do his robes like signify anything to Espen in this moment? Like, are there any symbols in like the leaves and stuff that are on there? Is like, because this guy's just like, get out of here, and we're supposed to be like, okay, boss.
So here's the thing. As he pops over to you, he appears in between you and Serafina and does a similar lays his hand on both your shoulders. And you guys feel your vision shake, and you see the same thing, except as you're looking up at him, you see that his own features have sharpened. His chin has gotten sharper. His ears are longer. He is taller. And he wears this crown of thorns.
Ooh, yo, that amazing. In that moment, Espen, like, you're gonna see like Ghibli style fur, like just like go up as it starts to like click, and she goes, Dante,
Yes.
we got to go. You trust
We need to
you trust
We
me.
need to go. We need to go. We need to go.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
need
yeah.
to go.
And
We need to go.
Yeah. Let's go. Let's go. And you trust me and my papa, and we'll get you more food. We must go. Go. Come on.
Okay. And you're just gonna see Dante just like shrug his shoulders down and just like, okay. Just follow
Like
right
kicking
along.
his feet.
Yeah.
Poor
And-
guy.
So much fun.
Like Ori is like moving with purpose. We're not running because something tells me if we start to run too quickly, the things that are actually not people are gonna notice that we're running. And you know what happens when predators see things run? So I'm gonna take my hands and I'm gonna put them on Dante's shoulders, and I'm just walk with purpose, please. Walk with purpose, please. Purpose.
I'm going.
And everybody within 30 feet of me will immediately like feel a burst of pass without a trace as we go through this area.
So, friends, as you head towards the emergency exit in a strict, orderly fashion.
Espen also does like a weird little bow thing to the fucking Bramble King.
Perfect. So as you turn back to kind of do your like, you're not sure what you're supposed to do in this moment. Like, this guy's not supposed to exist.
Yeah.
You turn on it, and as you look up, you see that the crowd has stopped moving. And they are just standing there, waiting. But Rufus continues to eat and eat and eat. You notice that the leg of lamb that he's currently munching on, he is taking a bite out of it and chewing, but no meat comes off the bone. And what once looked to be a celebratory buffet has turned into this exhibition of abject gluttony. As this ashen-haired woman in a black dress and a crown of bones comes behind Rufus, and you see the Bramble King turns to you all as he begins to approach the stage and says, "Don't watch," and makes for the stage.
With that note, Revelus will be walking close by Seraphina. He's going to take his kind of longer coat out, put it out around her shoulder, and just keep her walking forward so she's not looking back.
And as you are just about to break this threshold, this area, this border that Ori, moments ago, you were so close to having known none of this. Do any of you look back?
Seraphina can't.
Dante's just poopy face right now. It's just like this.
Dante cannot turn around with the grip that Ori has on him.
Hey, DM.
Yes.
Does Revelus get a sense that if he looks back, this will trigger some sort of curse, spell, whatever it is, or is it just what is happening behind him feels too horrific to look at?
Insight?
Do you want to find out?
I also have a question.
Yes, Pyrea, what is your question?
My little squirrel is like over there. What does that? It's Fae. It's Fae. So it's kind of part of this sphere of stuff. What does that mean? I haven't specifically said it skittered back to me yet. And it was over by Rufus. I can see through its eyes, but it's not me looking back.
I say again, would you like to find out? TikTok friends.
Yes.
Yes.
But I don't look back. It's through my
Yes.
squirrel's eyes.
Oh,
But
Revlis.
Revlis looks back though.
You're a human, no.
Ooh.
Oh man.
I gotta do what he would do. He
Do it!
would want to know what is happening.
No, absolutely F around and find out. I'm just terrified.
I mean, I think he knows. He definitely thinks he knows,
But you gotta see. You gotta find out.
but morbid
Okay.
curiosity.
Okay, friends. So, in a true Orphean moment, as you all break this threshold, Revlis, you stay just a hitch behind. And curiosity killed the cat. But what will it do to you? As you glance back, as you glance back and you go to take that last backward step to break this to break this threshold, but you see as the Queen of Bones drags this long slender knife across Rufus's neck, and the crowd lunges. And then as you break this plane, you see all of this disappear. Safely on the other side of the border of the town of Grimford, you see the ruins, the dilapidated buildings, the caved-in ceilings. The place you expected to see. No trace of the Bramble King. No trace of the Lady of Bones. No trace of Rufus. Revlis, would you please give me a Constitution saving throw?
Yes, sir. $11 on the dice for a 16 total.
Revlis, you feel a little irritation, a little nick just here on your neck.
Put my hand up towards that.
And as you pull away, you see blood.
Is it substantial? Do I need to
No,
freak out?
just a small little nick, not even as bad as you cut yourself shaving.
I'll trace my finger along the line. Does the line go from one side of the throat to the other?
Oh, friend, no, there is there isn't even a line. It is mm, trying to think.
It's like a shaving neck.
Yeah, it's a nick.
Just as small as that. Okay. Okay. Well, he's got a coat with a collar on it, so he's going to go ahead and pop the collar up, pull it a little close around his neck, and crack his neck a little bit, and then just with his cloak still pulled out to keep Serafina looking forward, put one hand on her shoulder, take a big shaky breath in, and then continue to hobble along.
And that is where we're going to take a short break. Friends, we will
Oh shit.
return to the consequences of our actions.
Yeah.
I was getting a new character sheet ready and everything.
We'll be back in 10 minutes, so just hang tight,
Amazing.
and we'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody, to Rebels Without a Castle presents the Stone Lord's Folly, episode 5. I know we've had a lot more episodes than that, but this is the 5th of the actual campaign. Our crew just witnessed something that only happens once every few centuries, and boy, are they excited about it. They just stumbled into the Feast of Amity, the multi-century ritual of those not from this realm. If you're just joining us, nothing bad happened. Everything's fine. If you if you know what happened, shush.
What do you
So-
mean? We weren't able to get more of the food. It was delicious.
So, friends, you just you get a safe distance away. Does anybody even bother to look back at all?
My squirrel did.
Oh, that's right. We have to resolve the squirrel
Ooh.
because the squirrel didn't leave, right?
The squirrel's like
Yeah.
right there.
Oh, that squirrel's gone.
They eat-
That's
They
totally
eat the
fine,
squirrel.
but like, what?
Mhm.
What does it see?
Red.
Oh,
Lots of red.
It sees a fire
just
pit, but,
very,
like, on
very
rotation.
007 from the 64.
Are you, so important? No, important question. You're not gonna get me on a technicality. Are you watching through the squirrel's eyes, or are you like, I'm gonna wait till the squirrel comes back and tells me what's going on?
Ooh. I mean, I'm not like connected as far as it would mark me, but I'm looking through its eyes.
Oh, well, I have news for you. You
I have stone
feel
hide.
this little twinge. It's a nice try. You feel this little twinge, like just under your ear, on your neck.
Rude. Fine.
Just my notes here.
Welcome to the club.
I hate everything. It's okay.
So you all, so it is getting late. The respite that you thought you would find at Grimford obviously is not there.
Mhm.
But by going to Grimford, you were able to circumvent a good amount of the forest, hopefully saving you time in your race against, well, whoever it is that you're trying to beat to the Greensteel Mountains. So, are you going to trudge through the night, or will you be making camp?
Real quick before that, I know, like, Revlis was kind of trying to hide his injury, but if Seraphina's, like, right next to him under her coat, would she have, like, felt him flinch or anything?
You can give me Bravos. Do you want to do a? Are you trying to like hide it, like real?
For Seraphina's sake, absolutely. I'm trying to hide that.
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna have you roll sleight of hand. Then Seraphina, I'm gonna have you roll perception.
Okay.
That's an 8.
Mm.
I also rolled an 8, but it's +7, so.
Ooh, all right.
All right.
Yeah, so
That's-
yeah, that's gonna do it.
I'd
So
say
Revelous,
she definitely notices the blood on my fingers as I move my hand back down to put my hand on her shoulder and
Mhm,
keep her moving
mhm.
forward.
I would say, like, as he puts his hand on her shoulder, she's just gonna put her hand on his and then cast Cure Wounds up through his hand. Which
On his hand?
Yeah. Just
Okay.
12 healing.
Okay.
She can't see the cut, but she saw the blood, so she can assume.
Yeah. Revelous, you feel great. You didn't feel like mechanically you had lost any hit points?
Much appreciated all
Does
the
he-
same, though.
Does he feel like the cut healed?
He's not going to double check it. He's got his collar kind of popped up and pulled around his neck at the moment, and just with that little burst of healing, he's just going to give Seraphina's shoulder a little squeeze. Say, "I'm all right, lass. Just keep one foot in front of the other. We'll talk about this later this evening."
Okay. She'll keep walking, like a little unnerved now. Not sure where the blood came from or why.
Normally, he would try and tell a story or joke or use some dry humor to pick that up, but he's not feeling it right now. So he's just gonna walk in silence.
Yeah, friends, what are the vibes, huh?
Ori is keeping Dante moving forward. Also, I'm not super keen on trying to travel through the night because that seems ill-advised. But I would also like to make sure that we are far enough away from whatever the fuck is left at Grimforge, just in case, you know.
Yeah.
I don't super like the idea of being followed.
Yeah.
Right,
we
in
still
case
have-
there's a dessert round.
Exactly.
Ooh, I hate it. We still have Pass Without a Trace for, probably like 15 minutes. So we'll still have that on our way out of town.
All right. Yep. So you make it out. This place is eerily not inhabited. So as far as you can all tell from your passive perceptions, there's nobody following you. Espen, this dirt looks normal. This also feels like a path less traveled, but more so because people just don't go in or out of Grimford. But like
Fun.
now that you see it in all of its glory, you understand why.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Does my little like bug bite by my ear feel any different as time passes?
No,
Good.
nope, just the nick.
Hate that. Cool.
So I assume that we all walk until the sun has set. Does anyone making conversation, or are we all walking in silence?
I think Dante himself is just continuing to be poopy faced because he didn't grab another funnel cake before they left. And so he's just a little upsetty spaghetti about that, and he's just going to continue on with it. It's just like, frowny face and everything.
I can't see his face, nor do I care.
Espen will gradually hand Dante up snacks, like toddler style. Like you just got every little plastic baggie filled with snacks to keep him going.
Thank you, Espen.
You are very welcome.
Still wasn't that funnel cake.
Yeah, but like, does your tummy feel okay? Like, it feels like maybe we shouldn't have eaten anything there.
More like it feels like I probably wanted more.
But we can, wait, I think I have, hey, would you like my friendship cookie from Healy? Look, would this make you feel better?
Friendship
Is
cookie,
it-
yes.
Yeah. And Espen will offer the acorn decorated cookie to Dante from Healy.
And Dante will just immediately take it, completely forget about it, and just smash it.
Perfect.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
It's a little crunchy.
yeah,
okay.
it's a solid like sugar cookie. Like, what are those the ones that they put out around Christmas time? I guess they're like shortbread ones with like the red and green sugar on them, and that's all they have put they put on them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Good deal. Yeah. Lore Master, once it feels like we are a safe-ish distance away, once it gets to the point where it's probably not safe to travel in the dark, I would like to make camp.
Got it. Perfect. You are all well seasoned enough. You're able to spot a good area. You see there seems to be this one rather like large oak tree. Looks like plenty of people have kind of bedded down here before. There's the grass is a little matted down. You can see that there's like a little mark in the ground from like where probably a couple people have started and put out fires here. So everybody sets up camp.
Okay. All right. Great. So, we're all alive.
Yes.
Is Espen making that face?
Yeah. Her snoot is all scrunched up. Did you guys not get told like the bedtime story about the creepy things that go bump in the night, and the feast of amity? And I didn't think it was real, honestly. Like,
It's not. I mean, yeah, there were there's a variation of creepy bedtime stories, but that's not one that I got. No.
yeah. So like it was. My papa told it to us, and it kind of spooked us into, let's be real, like not moving out of bed. Like you just didn't want to go anywhere because you were nice and safe in the covers. But it had to do with the Lady of Bones and the Bramble King, and I think that taller, like elf that we saw in the green, that was not actually looking like that. I think that was him, and I wonder why he helped us instead of like, I don't know, like went like whip, how Rufus did.
Oh, so he's dead.
Oh.
I mean, like, that's what I saw with my squirrel, and like then it was gone. So
Okay. I'm not even remotely surprised at that. That's great.
yeah.
Everything looks so festive, though.
Mm,
And they just murdered him?
yeah.
Ugh. Ugh.
Yeah, see,
thought-
so that's why we had to go.
I thought they liked him.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
How do I explain this?
They had all the posters saying they were going to celebrate.
Oh,
Yeah.
they celebrated all right.
Yeah.
Hey.
To be honest, since it's like real, I should probably read a little bit more about it as we come across information about the Lady of Bones and the Bramble King. But all I know is that they made a pact together and they used to like fight and argue, and I only partially paid attention to Papa. But that same thing happened every 300 years, and I don't know. I don't know why the posters were everywhere. That feels like a lot of extra.
I don't know how much you lot have spent. Do you guys know what happens when you prepare an animal for slaughter?
You fatten them up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ooh.
So, given the sheer amount of food that Rufus was being fed,
But wasn't
I think he was the feast.
wasn't
Ugh.
it pretend food though? How does that?
It seemed pretty real to me.
Didn't Zach when the elf guy touched us? Didn't we see Rufus like miming eating off of a bone?
So it wasn't
Or did I
even
misremember?
no, it's not that you didn't misremember. I didn't explain well. That's on me.
Okay.
So you saw him consuming food in both states. It was just towards the end that it was almost like the meat was like constantly being replenished. Like they weren't even bothering with bringing the food out. Like they were just so he could eat faster at the end.
Okay. I misunderstood. My bad. Cool.
Yeah, I didn't explain that very well. My bad.
Scratch that. I was imagining him like tearing away air from a bone.
Oh.
But how did they know he was even coming? Like, how did they get the posters and things if they weren't friends?
Espen. The king and the lady, where do they come from? Like, what's the basis of the story that your father told you?
Kind of that, but also hey Zach.
Yeah.
What
Hi.
else would I know?
Hi, hello.
Hi.
Yes, so you would know that the in the story, the Bramble King is the head of the Sealy Court, and Lady of Bones be the ruler of the Unseelie Court, which you would find in the Fey realm.
So Lady of Bones, head of the Unseelie, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Would we have any idea why they would be doing this? Like, what significance would basically Rufus being sacrificed have for them? Because if it's a treaty, like they're coming together and having this like festival ritual thing, like, is there any context to why? Like, does it keep power? Do we know any of that?
I mean, yeah, Laura's kind of right.
Okay.
You got to have food at the party.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Espen, do you tell us that it's based out of the Fey realm?
No, she just stares at you with vacant eyes. No, yes, she says that. She says that. She will go vacant for like a brief second. And she's like reliving her entire childhood in a moment.
Aspen,
it is-
sorry, one more little bit of the story
Yeah.
so you have the whole context. You remember that not only was this a story that was meant to kind of like keep you from misbehaving, and keep you in bed, it was also a story meant to motivate you to be great at whatever it is that you were attempting to do, because the Seelie and the Unseelie only make a meal out of the unremarkable and spend the day making them feel remarkable.
Oh.
Well,
It's like
Goddamn.
the worst version of gifted child syndrome I've ever heard. Okay.
Be good at this, or the fairies will eat you.
Or else.
I am tearing up right now. Poor Rufus.
That is horrifying. Okay. I guess then, Zach, with that information, would Ori know enough about the Fae, like through myth, legend, what have you, to know that they just fucking eat people? Or is that you got to go into a deep lore dive for that shit?
I mean, it's not so much a deep lore dive. You've heard stories of like people who have gone and come back from the Feywild, and and they talk, in whatever thoughts that they're able to kind of cobble together after such an experience. It's not unheard of for two people to stumble into the Feywild and only one of them to make it back out. But for what reason that could be, no idea.
Oh shit.
But you know now.
Yeah, no, ooh, buddy. I don't. Yeah, no, they tell you stories about that, about people like vanishing in the Feywild.
Why would they tell you that as a child?
To traumatize you into not acting out?
Well, no, it was like, so you did your best. And like, you didn't, I don't know, like.
So what I said.
Suck.
Get good.
Get good.
Get good at an early age, son.
Get good or get
I mean,
eaten.
yeah. I don't know. I mean, it was kind of creepy when I was little, but the only one of my siblings that I ever thought that would ever happen to is like my twin. So
yeah,
but
the story
I think he got
that I got.
better.
The story that I got growing up was something about a lady who lived in a hut in the woods, and the hut was on chicken legs.
Oh,
Real creepy.
And if you didn't run fast enough in the woods, she would get you. And so, like, if you didn't get home before dark, she would like pick you up, and then you would have to stay and do tons of chores for her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Horrifying.
Serafina, you've read the Baba Yaga story in a book before.
Okay. Like,
You know the chicken hut lady.
Chicken hut lady. I love Baba Yaga. I really do.
I mean, she probably just wanted friends, right? Like, that story never really bothered me. You just get somebody to like
I always
talk
assumed
to, and
that she was like older and needed help, but Still,
exactly.
kind of creepy. Chicken leg.
It's mostly the hut on the chicken legs that got
Yeah.
to me. That's
mean-
those are legs where they're not supposed to be legs.
It kind of just sounds like recycling, right?
Oh, well, when you put it like that.
Like, people eat chicken, so what else are you going to use the legs for?
No. Oh. Never mind.
I wonder if they would have told me stories like that growing up.
What do you mean, Dante?
What?
What do you mean you didn't hear any stories like that growing
What?
up? What stories did you hear growing up?
I don't remember.
Do you
What?
remember any of growing up?
No.
Dante,
What-
what do you remember 2 years ago?
I remember stumbling around finding armor and my sword, and then somehow or another I made my way into meeting with you, Espen.
Yeah,
What the-
but that was on the mountain, and that was
Yeah.
like a year ago. So you wandered around for a whole year looking
Oh, no.
for your armor.
No, it's
No?
armor, weapon, you. Everything else before
Okay.
that's like not there.
What? What?
It's not just not there.
It's never come up before.
We never asked about it.
Not this fair. I guess I was just so excited that everything on the mountain I assumed was new to you because you had never been to the mountain. And now that
Yeah.
we're not there, everything
yeah.
down here is new to you too.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, when what is it? When we met, you asked me my name, and well, I looked down, I saw Dante was on the armor and my sword, and I was like, oh, it's Dante.
What?
How did you know they were yours? If you don't remember anything before that, like what
Yeah,
if you
I've
just took somebody else named Dante's sword and armor?
Yeah, where did you find the armor and the sword, Dante?
Yeah, it's a little fuzzy.
What?
I just assumed it was mine because it was right where I woke up, and there they were, and I just grabbed it and went.
Where did you wake up?
It's a little fuzzy.
How far did you have to walk to get to the mountain?
Didn't
How
seem
many
very
days?
far.
It didn't seem far?
No, it didn't seem far at all.
Were you near a river?
Maybe? I don't remember. Was I?
Dante.
Ori's just making this face as she listens the whole time. Just
So, Dante,
Yes.
let me get this straight. Past 2 years ago, you don't have any memories
Well,
whatsoever.
technically it was a year ago because, like Espen
Yeah.
said, like that's how long I've known them.
So,
Mhm.
1 year ago,
Yes.
give or take, you don't have
Yes.
no memories.
Nope.
What are you doing here? Why aren't you out looking for these this past life that you've had?
Yeah, it's just Espen's my friend, and well, they treated me good, and I've been going on adventures with them ever since.
And Espen, have you been trying to help him find out more about himself?
Well, to be fair, the mountain where I am from is very different, and you would also be very confused if we went there. So I am used to anybody who shows up, which is a lot of people, being confused. So I just thought it was normal confusion. And yeah.
And
So
he just joined you from there.
yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. What? Why are you guys looking at me weird?
I cannot wait to crack open that egg.
What egg? Where's the egg?
I would like to point out that Laura's face has gotten more and more concerned the more that Dante's talked. And
Great visual acting. It's great.
Seraphina's gonna check her bag and see if she can find the plates from earlier that she stowed. Are they still there?
they are not.
Oh, boo.
She was gonna offer them consolingly, but now she's just like slightly disappointed looking at her feet.
Also bummed.
They were real, but they got bammed back to the fucking real world. Okay. All right. I feel like that sort of generally gestures to Dante. I appreciate your candor and your honesty or some shit. That's a lot to unpack right now.
I don't know, it seems
so
kinda
we
simple to
can-
me.
I think what Ori is trying to say is we've all had a long day. We just watched a man die.
There was a
We
man
need
that
to
died?
rest. What do you...
Hi, I'm Dory, and I have
Revless,
short-term-
Revless. Okay, you know what? We're calling it a night. We gotta get up. We should probably be up with the sun to keep it moving, because as previously stated, we've got people that are also trying to capture and or kill the crown prince, and I would prefer they not do that, because otherwise I won't get paid.
Right. The rest of you go ahead and get some shut-eye. I will
Yes.
take the first
Yes.
watch. Revelus will reach for his hip flask, take a swig or two, and set up the post.
So you go to sip your hip flask. What do you usually keep in there?
Well, what else does a pirate keep on his hip flask? Rum.
Perfect. So that like fruity spice taste that you've really just been hankering for since you picked up for the day doesn't quite greet your taste the same way. Did you wash it? 'Cause it really just tastes like water.
Right. I will... Knowing something is off, knowing something in this, either with him or in the world, is feeling off, he will down the rest of the flask. Just to see what, if anything, is going on.
You slam this flask of water. You feel no familiar tingling sensation in your fingertips, no looseness of your neck, no lowered inhibitions.
Right?
All the fun parts of drinking are missing.
He will take the flask in his hand. And it's just a leather flask, nothing metal about it. He'll kind of crumple it up, hold it really tight, relax his hand, allow it to drop back down towards his hip, and then find a stone or something on the ground and just kick it away for a little bit, and then sit down and prepare to watch.
Perfect. Anybody else doing anything before they hit the sack?
Espen will, in her mind, try and think about the early days of meeting Dante and what area they because like the Oblivarans have like watchtowers around their little colony, and so like they would have seen Dante kind of approaching from certain areas, and it would have been discussed. So like it would have been something that she wrote down in her journal. So she'll kind of just try and re-familiarize herself with the event of like Dante actually appearing in the mountain and what that looked like for them at that time, just to kind of like refresh that idea for later on. Because I feel like that's going to be important.
Okay, yeah. So as you you kind of reread your journal there and re-familiarize yourself with what those couple of days looked like, with a new eye. Probably best to sleep on it though.
Okay. I'll sleep on it. Would you feel suspicious, but sure. I'll sleep on it.
Anybody else before they go to bed?
I mean, I know we're sort of in the process of like getting ready and stuff, but would Ori have noticed the fact that Revlis fucking pounded his entire flask in one go?
That's probably a good thing. I mean, you weren't hiding at all, really, were you, Revlis? It's kind of hard to hide pounding your
No,
flask.
not at all. I mean, he walked maybe 10 feet away from the fire that's made, did this, like kicked a stone, and that's pretty noticeable. So he's not trying to hide that he's upset about something.
Yeah, Ori, you see Revlis just like take a small sip and then just knock it all back.
Cool. And like Ori's set down her bedroll and like set her big fuck off maul like next to her bedroll. She'll just kind of wander over and like stand next to Revlis with her arms crossed. It's awful lot of booze to slug right before taking first watch. You don't want me to take over?
Mighty kind of you to offer, but no, I feel nothing.
Lore Master, does he smell like booze?
He does. The familiar sting, a rather high proof, Navy strength even.
Jesus.
Rum meets your kind of meets your nostrils off of his breath.
Mm. No offense, sailor, but you smell like you just went swimming in a cask.
Only wish that I had. I saw what they did back there to Rufus. I saw what those God's damned Faye did. I turned back. I made sure no one else did. But I've seen enough floggings and assassinations and murders to know what was going to happen. And I couldn't stop myself from wanting to see it, to justify just how primal they are. A silly thing.
That's the difference, isn't it? It's one thing to watch somebody be tied to a post in the center of town and beaten within an inch of their lives. And Ori kind of like shrugs part of her tunic. You can see the beginnings of some old scarring on her shoulder. But that is a whole different realm.
Seems you and I are more similar than I once thought. And Revlis, he'll have taken off his large kind of duster overcoat. So it's just his vest and his flowing shirt. And with the shirt too, he'll go ahead and like pull part of it to the side as well. And you can see there's like whip lashings up across his chest as well.
You get caught too?
Yeah. Yeah. Just wasn't fast enough. Happened a year after I busted up my old leg. How about you?
There were supplies that were needed being hoarded by those who didn't really need them. Me and my crew, we liberated them. Just wasn't fast enough. They wanted me to name names. I wouldn't fucking do it.
I knew I liked you. There's something...
Rev,
Yes.
did they see you?
No. At least not that I saw. And I would tell you if I felt different. But I'm pretty certain that no.
All right.
You ought to know. And yeah, with his shirt pulled to the side now, he kind of like lifts his neck up as well and just kind of points to his finger where the nick was. I'm assuming that the cure wounds from Seraphina removed that. Is that accurate?
Did it?
No DM.
So I will say
Oh,
this. The nick is not currently there.
Okay.
Currently there. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Right up here. Just to the side of my Adam's apple. I watched the Lady of Bones cut Rufus's neck from ear to ear. I felt just the barest bit of a nick myself. Just here. Not enough to really get the blood racing, but enough to feel what he felt in his last moment. I tell you this because when I told you I can feel nothing from those booze, I feel nothing. And it makes me angry. It makes me furious.
Oh. Lore Master, does that sound like anything?
Give me an bless it. Give me an Arcana check, but at disadvantage. Yeah, I know, I know.
Listen, I'm the meat shield. I don't know dick about dick. 9.
9. You're just confused. Anytime that you've had to cut somebody's throat, you maybe go too far to ensure that you've done it correctly. Just a nick doesn't make any sense.
If they wanted you to feel it, you'd feel it. One way or another. But I am clearly not an expert in anything beyond these realms. I get very angry and I hit things very hard.
Still have yet to see what you can do when you're not holding back. I wager we'll get there soon enough.
Careful what you wish for, old man. And Oriel clap him on the shoulder and walk back to her bedroll.
I'll relocate my dislocated shoulder.
Oh.
Ori. Don't tell the others. Not yet. Especially not Seraphina. I don't want to worry her. She knows something happened, but she doesn't need to know this yet.
I'll give you 24 hours.
48. Just to see if any of the effects go away.
Deal. 2 days.
Right. Best get some sleep.
And I will go to bed.
And I will take first watch.
Perfect.
Were you guys like so far away there's zero possibility of anyone at camp having heard?
We were definitely trying to be
discreet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would imagine that we were both facing out towards the woods, so.
Okay. Seraphina is like too unnerved by what happened to do any of her hobbies, so she's actually just got into her bedroll and is laying flat on her back, still with the blanket over her head, because she just, privacy is a thing. Everybody wants at night. It's just the rule. So she's like laying flat on the back blanket over her, not moving or doing anything, just staring at the underneath of the blanket. That's why I asked if they were out of hearing range, because she's just staring at the blanket. So if you were anywhere close, she would have just heard on accident.
Seraphina's like, man, this was a rough day. I can't do any arts and crafts.
Can't focus.
Poor thing.
Nugget.
All right. So, Revelus, as you enter the first watch, you keep a weather eye out, and you see why this spot has been so frequently used. Ain't nothing here. No frequently traveled roads. And the night passes you by with little incident The wind blows across your face, and it feels just a touch bit less nippy than it usually does. But your watch is up. It's time for you to go to bed. Who's replacing Revlis?
We didn't decide, so maybe he just wakes somebody up. He just picks.
Yeah. Dealer's choice.
Eeny, meeny, miny.
Yeah, sure. That's how you guys want to do it.
I would say. I would say he would go for either Espen or Ori, just knowing that Dante had a day of ups and downs and wanting to let Serafina rest.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go.
I think he'll
I'll do
go
my second
over
watch.
and wake up Espen.
Puffball.
Oh, that's it's a lot of hair.
Hello.
You're up on watch.
Oh.
You feel all right?
Okay. I'm on it. The watch.
Yes, you've got
Okay.
it for sure.
Yeah. I got
Right.
it. I got
Well,
it.
I'm gonna
I got
go.
it. Sleep.
If you need anything, shout.
Okay. I do not. All right. Go to sleep. I got it. I got it. She is stumbling up to go roughly to the same area that Revlis was taking watch. To
I will go and hesitantly fall asleep. But I will sleep.
Perfect. Espen, as you sit on watch, your neck just feels like kind of itchy. Just in that one little spot.
Well, I got it. Did I get bit by something?
Yeah, but the night your part of the watch goes by without incident. You are well rested, alert. Just that one spot kind of itches.
Okay. When it's no longer her turn, she's gonna wake up Ori. But she's gonna do a couple of circles around Ori because it's like a I don't know how.
Is she gonna punch me?
Yeah, it's like I don't know how to wake. I don't want to wake Mom up. She's gonna be mad at me.
After the third circle, Ori just eyes still closed, arms crossed over her chest. Just, do you want me to take next watch?
Yes. I also had a question. Do you see anything here? I think I got bit by something. Do you see a little a mark or something? And she's gonna try and pull her fur back to expose the little bump. You're out in nature and the wild and stuff, and I feel like you would be a good person to ask. Do you see a bump or something there?
Okay, well, yeah, technically yes, but I'm honestly more of a city kid, but come here.
Oh, okay. And she's stepping, she's standing as high up as she can because she's short.
Okay,
easier for you.
Ori will get down. Halo Master is in roughly the same spot that Revlis pointed to on his neck.
So, yeah, but what Revlis described as like a nick or a small cut, you see more like a almost like a tiny little bald spot in Espen's fur with more like a rashy type thing.
Mm. Does it is it just like does it look like a bug bite, or is this rash like in the shape of something?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
This is the bald spot kind of looks like if it's like sometimes like if you shave your dog, but you just like bap him with the clippers real quick and he gets that little sharp line. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it kind of looks like that. It's kind of like irregular. It's just kind of like a not like a lightning bolt, but like kind of like a irregular squiggle. It's like
Okay.
it's very tiny. It's like maybe an inch and a half.
And is there a pattern to the rashy bit?
So in the skin underneath, we never really talked about what Olivarans look like under their fur. But we're gonna say they're paler than their fur for the sake of this description. It's kind of like red with these little white like specks in it. Not like bumps, not like pustules, more like a
Like a constellation?
one could say that.
Ah! Okay. Do you see anything? It's like really itches. I don't know.
Well, you got a chunk of fur missing.
Oh no. Oh, that's not good.
You got. I'm gonna take piece of paper and pen and like dot the little what is it?
Charcoal rubbing.
No, I like drawing the pattern of the dots like on the paper.
Yeah.
You charcoal rub someone's rash.
Ew. Ow.
Probably also that.
That's there's like a red spot, and that's what like little white dots like that.
Ew.
It doesn't look like
Is
it's infected. Like it's
Okay,
just
well-
like Lorma, does it look like somebody just took white paint and like boop boop boop?
Not necessarily. It's
Okay.
it's more like so you have like redness and then so think about it like painting in negative. As if it was like it was painted red, and then some of the red
The
was taken
spots were
out.
there.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
So it looks like the spots were there. But then the rash like went around them. I had weird spots there. Oh.
I don't. Okay.
Do
That's
the spots make any shapes that seem familiar to me?
Yeah, Ori shows you the drawing and give me a nature or history check, I suppose.
$16 in total.
16. This looks vaguely like a constellation. You can't quite pick out like which one.
Okay.
But like, a bunch of dots in random places also look like a constellation of anything, If you're looking for them, you can see them.
I'm a circle in the stars druid. Don't
I
mess
know what
with
I
me
said.
like that. Okay. She'll make note of that as well, and she'll be on the hunt. I got it earlier. like when we were leaving, and like I didn't look back, like the king told us like not to, but then like my familiar was there, and I kind
Were
of
you
saw, and then it went red. I wanted
Espen,
to kind of make
Espen.
sure. Yes. Yeah.
Were you looking through your familiar?
Well, like I wanted to see where it was, and I did, and yeah, but it was not for long, and everything went red. So
He told us not to look for a reason.
but I didn't. I just wanted to make sure my friend was okay. And they weren't. So, I mean, like, I know that they can come back and all of that, but I think it's always mean if you, like, squish them and make them do things that's, like, hurts them, even though they're just, like, and come back. Like, it feels wrong. So, I just, like, wanted to make sure they were okay.
I don't. That's not. I can't say I understand. I don't know dick about magic, but it's not the familiar that was the point. It was the fact that you saw. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Maybe. Probably. Well, it's like itches, and so I'll like pay attention to it and like try and figure out if that's like a real constellation or something, because like I wonder if those were there before. Anyway, I'm gonna go do some research because like I can't just like shave on my fur. So thank you for looking. If you need me, I'm going to be over here in my bedroom. And okay, good luck with your watch. Thank you. Thank you. And she like wobbles back over there.
All right, that's 2.
She's
So,
not
Espen,
telling, but she's counting.
Yep.
So, Espen, you go back to bed. Ori, it's your turn to watch. You see more of the same. There are nary a threat to be had. Not even, you don't see foxes, nor squirrels, nor interesting geese. And the night passes by, eerily quiet. The sun has begun to rise. And as you all wake up, Revlis, you wake up with a slightly larger cut, starting in the original area and extending down, about 1.5 inches, just flirting with the side of your Adam's apple. It's quite a mess.
Is this still superficial enough that it does not cause permanent damage? Or is it starting to get there?
Well, the amount of blood that is leaving your body is not really ignorable. But even as you go and try to wipe it away or mop it up with a rag, you feel the cut's no longer there. But you still feel a little lightheaded. would you please take 5 hit points off of your hit point maximum, please?
Off the maximum.
And that is where we are going to wrap our session tonight. Friends, thank you so much for joining us as we get back into our main campaign. I have obviously been very excited to get back to this. I'd like to thank my players for being here and suffering not only the consequences of their actions, but the consequences of my own whim. And just being fantastic all the way around. Please come join us on the Discord. We're in there. We talk. We can keep you a little easier up to date on what we're getting into, campaign and lore shot wise. Any changes to the schedule. Also, we're super funny. At least I think so. So you should come and hang out with us. Also follow us on YouTube, where we'll be posting every Monday. We post the things that we do on Wednesday. So if this was your first time watching us and you wanted to catch up and see what was going on, certainly jump back over there. Same username as here. And my name is Zach Savage, and I have been your lore master this evening. You can find me on all of my socials at Zach Savage Lore. That's right, all of them, all together. I don't have to change anything. On TikTok, on Instagram, you'll find me probably uploading a ton of development stuff for my own 5e source book. So definitely give that a look. And now I'm going to turn it over to my wonderful cast, and they'll remind you who they are and where you can find them, and if they have anything cool going on. Laura.
Hi, hello, good evening, folks. You can call me Laura22 or Laura22. You can find me all over the internet, usually as underscore Laura22 on all of the social media sites that actually matter. I have been your barbarian fighter, Orient Shieldbreaker, keeper of secrets, I guess. Guys, this is why you tell your party that you've been bitten by the zombie or whatever. If you want to see what else I'm doing, the easiest way to do that is to check out my website, laura22.com. But you can find me here every Wednesday, every Friday. You can find me over at Crit Hit Chronicles for Shadows Over Baldur's Gate, our spiritual sequel to the Hitlerian Games video game Baldur's Gate 3. And lots 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 of World of Darkness coming with the fine folks over at Folk and Myth. So, as said, easiest way to see what I'm up to is via my website, laura22.com.
Fantastic. And all those projects are going to be wonderful. Hyacinth.
Hi, I'm Hyacinth. My handle is Hyacinth Wonders on pretty much all of the social media. When I'm not here, I'm usually doing cosplay skits on my other socials or doing gaming streams on Twitch, and that's about it.
All right, perfect. Sam.
Hi guys, my name is Sam and I am traumatized. You can find me on
Yay!
You can find me on Instagram and Twitch at Utah Indie. I will be streaming tomorrow night a little bit of a run through of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. So if you want a less traumatic time, come over there tomorrow night. But who doesn't want a less traumatic time? This was amazing tonight. And I have been your pirate gunslinger with a curse question mark.
Who's to say? Who knows? Certainly not I. Justin.
Hey everybody, how's it going? I am GM Justin. You can find me at all my socials at Forever GM Justin. You can also find me over at Roll D5, where we specialize in playing indie TTRPGs. There's a whole lot of things going on. You may even see me appearing in some of the aforementioned World of Darkness games over at Folk and Myth here in the future. We'll see. I know we just got done with our mini campaign involving Werewolf the Apocalypse, my first time playing actually too, which was a blast. But I think it's time to go back to playing a little bit of vampire. But with that, you'll also catch, like I mentioned, you'll find me doing stuff over Roll D5, and then I have a personal project that I'm working on getting released out here in the near future. So follow me on my socials to see when that debuts. Otherwise, I was your lovable himbo with no recollection of what happened about longer than a year ago. So good times. And Funnel Cake is canonized.
Yeah, I know. Really just throwing my entire food economy into turmoil, but it's fine. I'll figure it out.
I'm here for you.
Yeah, perfect, perfect, perfect. And last but not least, the wonderful artists behind all of the art that you have seen, are seeing right now, and will see in the future, and our lovely tiny bear, Pyrea.
Hi, everybody. I'm Pyrea. I played our tiny bear, Espen, the Oblivion Ranger slash Druid, who is fine, clearly. Something else is definitely going on with me. And I have all my hit points, so.
For now, you didn't wake up yet.
What did I do to you?
Get wrecked, Sam.
Get wrecked, son.
You and your short ass
Oh.
lifespan. Get out of here.
I knew I should have.
I really do think it's because you're human. But anyway, find me as Pyrea on all the socials. I do stuff on the internet. Just find me on socials. I hate doing outros. I'm everywhere. Zach, back to you.
Fantastic, fantastic. Well, that's my lovely cast. And also, last but not least, if you had any issues with any of the calls that I made tonight, as the dungeon master of this game, you can find me behind the Denny's on 422, and we can square up.